Hello and welcome back to Lane for Podcast. Today we're here with Peter Plavec, who is an ice and open water marathon swimmer. He's also a two-time 1,000-meter ice swimming world champion and is also the world record holder for that event. So, Peter, how are you today?
Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thanks.
Very good, thank you. So, the first question for you is, what is ice swimming? I think a lot of people don't really know, and I think I've got a bit of knowledge on it, but I'm not that sure. So, tell us a bit about it, please.
Yeah, it's ice swimming is quite simple, so the rules are not really complicated. Ice swimming means swimming in water under 5 degrees of Celsius. And the swimming happens without any neoprene suit, so you can wear only a cap, goggles, and your swimming speedos. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, that makes sense. So, no wetsuits, nothing like that.
No wetsuit, nothing. Yeah.
So obviously you do a lot of social media around, cold water swimming and all of that. What made you want to do that?
Yeah, yeah, my wife convinced me to do it because it's kind of a crazy sport and it's good to share it with people. Maybe it helps to some other swimmers to start with this sport. So if they see a little bit more of the background, how it happens. So I just started to share about my first race, and the people liked the content so much. So I continued, and I'm doing it daily. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it definitely motivates people to have a look and, as a sport, as you said, that is very hidden. It's quite interesting for people to actually have an insight. So tell us a bit about your open water training. So are you training in the pool a lot? Are you training more open water? What's the ratio and how does it differ?
Yeah, the ratio so mostly I train in the pool. It is like 6 to 7 times per week in a pool, and maybe 1 to 2 times in open water. And in the summer, it's a bit less because I don't really like the warm water. So it's like I'm mostly in the pool in the summertime, but in the winter, I'm going like 1 or 2 times also to swim outside in the cold water because the body can prepare much better if you are very often and very consistently in the cold water.
Okay, yeah. So it helps you like build up what is it, endurance or build up that like tolerance to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
so as a open water swimmer, you have the world record in the 1,000. Is it the 1,000-meter cold water swimming?
Yes, it happened at the Winter Swimming World Championship in Bled, and I did the 1,000-meter world record in my age group. Yeah, so
Okay,
it's like
wow.
not
How
the
is
whole, not the world record for all the age groups, not in the open category, only in my age group, so between 35 and 39.
it's still very impressive. So how does it feel to have that and obviously be a world champion and world record holder?
Yeah, at that race, I won the world championship, so in my age group, and the world record came. The information that it's official came only like 5 or 6 months after it because they needed to prove all the old records and so on. So I was very surprised when I saw it, and I was really happy. Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah, it's just a very cool thing to have. So obviously you're doing your ice swimming. Have you got any more challenges coming up? Like, is there any? What's the next goal for you? So are you planning to
So
swim
I
like a?
I have a few smaller races now in the next weeks, and at the beginning of the winter. And then in January 25, I'm traveling to Molveno, that it is in the Italian Alps, for the ice swimming world championship, where I will compete in all the freestyle distances. So in all the distances between 50 and 1,000 meters. And yeah, and then again, a few national races over here in Austria and Slovakia. And I have also some big plans then for the summer. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the longest swim you've ever done? Would you ever swim like the channel, or what's the furthest you swam?
Uh, I swam already in the channel, but not the English channel. But I was swimming in a four-person relay uh, in the North Channel, which we did two-way. So we swam it there and back in a four-person relay. We was the first four-person team which did it. So our names are also in the Guinness Book of the Records. and it was an amazing swim. And that was my first time in the channel. But the longest swim was last year in the summer. I swam a race called Batalla de Rande. It is in Spain in the Atlantic Ocean. The race is 27 kilometers long. Yeah, and there were around 100 swimmers at that race. It took me a bit more than 8.5 hours non-stop, and of course without the wetsuit. The water was somewhere around 14, 15, 16 degrees all the time, so it was a bit cold, but it was a quite good temperature for me for a longer swim.
Yeah.
Yes, so I did that one last year, and that was until now my longest non-stop swim. Yes.
Wow, that's very impressive. So the relay that you did, how did that work? Would you swim like in 2 hour like bits, or how much did you swim each?
We was changing every hour, so that are the rules of channel swimming. That if you are doing a relay, you need to change every hour, and you need to change always the same way. So we was 4 swimmers, and there's no possibility to change or something. You need to do it in the same way. There was a boat. We was traveling on that boat, and there was always one swimmer in the water and 3 of us waiting on the boat. And every hour when the captain and the officials told us to change, so there is also a procedure of that, how you can change in the water. Yeah, that it will stay until the rules of marathon swimming. It
Okay,
was a
wow.
crazy swim. In the North Channel, we had temperatures between 10 and 11 degrees. So it was really, really cold. And we were swimming all day, all night. It took us around 27 hours, I think. And we met a lot of jellyfish. In the North Channel, there are crazy big jellyfishes. And yeah, they are quite dangerous. So a lot of
Wow.
poison was in our body.
Yeah, I was going to say that must be very difficult because the cold temperature alone is hard, but jellyfish, because recently I've been getting into a lot of open water stuff, and jellyfish have been one of the biggest problems. What's the worst like jellyfish situation you've had? Was it that swim?
Yeah, this was in the North Channel. We were swimming in the night, and it was not possible to see them. You don't see them in the water, and also the other swimmers from the boat can't see them. So we were swimming between a lot of lion's mane that are one of the most dangerous jellyfishes in the world, and it was really painful. So if you hit one of them and then you pull the jellyfish through your whole body when you are doing your stroke, it touches you everywhere, and the pain is crazy.
Yeah. Wow. So what would you say? Obviously, that's a huge challenge, but what would you say is the biggest challenge of open water swimming?
Yeah, what's the big challenge? I would maybe say the biggest challenge are the hours you need to train for it. Because if you are working full time as me, then you need to find always the time when you can get those kilometers. Because if you swim only a few trainings per week, and you don't have that amount what you have to do, it will be very hard to do something long. So you need that amount of kilometers, and that's quite hard to find that time, before work, after work, on the weekends, to do that whole thing. Yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest challenge for all the open water swimmers, which are not professionals but amateurs like me, and working full time.
Yeah. So would you say location and facilities also difficult? Because obviously you live in Austria. So would you say there's lots of facilities for open water swimming?
Yeah, we have a lot of facilities, and we have quite good possibilities to swim. I live in Vienna, and we have here the Danube and the old and the new Danube, that are the parts where the water is not moving, so there is no current, and you can safely swim all year long. So you can train good if you want to, and if you have the time for it. Yes.
That's good. So what would you say is the best part about being an open water swimmer? What do you love about it the most?
I think the best part is that you are really free. You can swim summer, winter, if it's cold or warm, doesn't matter. You can always go out if you have a lake or sea or a river, whatever next to you, and you can go out and swim. I think that's the best part. it's a sport which is not really expensive. So if you are not doing any channels or you want to break any big records, you just want to do it for your health or your mental health or whatever, then it's quite cheap and you can do it almost everywhere. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that's the best. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very good sport for accessibility and it makes you feel amazing. There's such a good rush after being in cold water. It's an incredible sport.
exactly.
So would you
Yeah.
recommend it to your friends? Would you say, obviously you're very big into open water swimming. Would you try and get your friends to do it with you?
I would recommend it, of course, and that's why I'm also doing this Instagram channel. You know that a lot of people which are doing some sports or would like to start or something, that they see how easy it is and how everybody can start without any knowledge. You know, I started also 7 years ago to swim. I was never a guy who is doing much of sports or something, so I was quite unfit, and I started with it, and now it's going very good. So I think that's a good example that everybody can start, doesn't matter which age, and everybody can love this sport. Yeah.
It's really good. So, you recently asked a question on your Instagram story, which was, what motivates you to get into open water on tough days? What would you say to this question yourself?
I would say I asked this question because I wanted to know what the people think or what others are motivated by, and I've got a lot of interesting answers, but mine is completely different. Like what I was reading there. I don't really need any motivation for going there because I love the activity so much. I love the swimming. Doesn't matter if it's a training, hard training in a pool or just going for an easy swim outside, doesn't matter. I love it so much that I don't need any motivation. I just go there because I love it. It's like somebody likes eating good food. He don't need any motivation to eat something good, because it's like you love it and you do it. That's it. So I also don't need the motivation for this swim.
Yeah, that's good. That's a really good way of living. Like, it's a really nice way of doing it. It's a nice way of saying it as well. So, so when you're getting ready for an open water race, how do you prepare for it? So like what equipment? So going into a swim, obviously, the temperature is very cold. After the swim, do you have to have layers and layers to put on? Like, how do you prepare yourself?
Yeah, mostly when I'm going for an ice swim, I'm going with my car. I park the car and I have all my equipment in the car. Mostly I take a hot tea with me. I love ginger tea, because it helps to warm up a little bit from inside. So I keep all my equipment in the car and I just go for a swim with my swimming boy and I put the car keys inside. Normally I met some friends and we swim together in the Danube. And then when I finish, I just open the car and start to change clothes as fast as I can. I take down everything wet and then I dry myself. I take warm clothes, I drink tea, and I try to have a short walk or a short run around the car that helps me to warm up a little bit. And then just turn on the heating on maximum in the car and drive home. That's it. So you don't really need any equipment. It's like if you come out of the cold water and you move a little bit, you don't need to be nothing fast or something. Just a little bit moving around, and then you go to a space which is a bit warmer. That's it. What you need. There are also possibilities to do it faster way. Like if you go to hot water after it, or you go to a sauna or whatever. But you can also warm up your body with a bit of movement.
Okay. So have you ever been worried about hypothermia? Have you ever come close to getting cold water shock or anything like that?
I think I was close a few times, but I started this ice swimming with very short distances. So the first time when I went in, it was 50 meters only, and then I worked up in the years to these distances which I'm swimming now. I'm swimming 1,000 meters in a training without any problems, but I worked up very slowly to this, and I know my body quite good. So I know when this feeling is coming, I know now is the time to go out, and then I am always safe. So you need to know your body a little bit to know that moment when it's enough. I think
Do
that's
you,
the most hard. That's the most hard part
yeah,
in this sport. Yeah, that you need to know when to come up. Don't want to break any records every day and so on, but you need to know when you have to stop.
I was going to say that you need to know your body well. So do you always, whenever you're ice swimming, do you always have someone else with you, or do you do it alone?
Normally, I always have somebody with me. Yeah, normally I swim with some friends, and we are always 2 or 3 swimmers at a time in the water. Or if I go alone, then my wife is waiting for me outside or something like this, or some friends. But normally I never go on my own, also because of the safety. But the second part is it's also not so much fun. It's much better to swim
Mm,
if you are with somebody. It's much more fun. I like it
yeah,
more.
yeah, it's fun making it a group activity and you do it with people. It's much more enjoyable. So,
Yeah.
how do you mentally prepare for a race? Do you use like race? Do you visualize the race? Like, how do you prepare?
Yeah, I think that's the only thing what I do is visualization. Yeah. Yeah, I try to think about the race from the moment of waking up on that day until the end of the race, when I come out of the water. And yeah, until I'm completely warm up again. So I try to think also on a few scenarios which are not going well, but also on a few ones which are perfect, and then I'm prepared in my head for every possibility. Yeah, I think
Okay,
that's the most. Yeah, that's the thing which helps me the most when
yeah.
preparing. Yeah.
So,
I'm normally I'm quite nervous before a race, so I don't really like to
yeah,
speak to anybody. I'm just completely focused. So I like to go through my head through everything. Yeah.
okay. Do you have music in? Do you like listen to your music before?
No, I never tried it, but I'm thinking about to try it soon. Yeah, how it works with music. Yeah, because now I know how it is. I did it only without music always, and now thinking about to try it also with music. Maybe it helps a bit.
Okay. So, nutritional wise, what do you do the night before a race, and what do you do the day of? Do you eat? Do you, and what's it called hydration wise as well?
Yeah. So I work with a nutritionist, Jörg Hösli from Switzerland, and he's helping me to prepare for all these races. And we changed tactics a little bit a few months ago. So he started to teach me how to prepare better with nutrition. So now at the moment I'm trying to have a light dinner the day before the race with a lot of carbs. So something like pasta or rice, potatoes, and so on. Something what's light on the stomach but fills you up with carbs. And the next day in the morning, also very similar. I try to eat, but a little bit only because my stomach don't really likes the food on the day of the race. So I try to eat something light but with a lot of carbs. And I try to drink calories, because it's much easier to digest. I try to have some sport drinks with carbs, also in the morning, and then also the few moments before start of the race. Yeah, because it feels a bit lighter for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. To be, I'm very similar. I feel like on a race day, I do not want to eat. It's the last thing I want to do because I get very nervous as well. So I feel like eating is not one of the thing. I'm not thinking about that, and it doesn't. I don't feel like I digest in the same way.
Yeah.
So obviously, this sport, I feel like it's very the youth end of the sport, so the younger age group. What do you think it should be pushed more for young swimmers such as myself?
I think for the youngers, even for the youngers than you, I think the most important have to be the fun of swimming. I think that's if the youngest age groups, so categories, if they have a lot of fun, they will continue swimming and they will not stop. I think that's the most important part of, because sometimes I see that the young swimmers have such hard trainings, and the coaches are very concentrated only on the races and on the times and everything, that the young swimmers lose somewhere the fun of that sport. And then if they are like 17, 18 or whatever, they stop swimming. So, and I think that's the most important part to go through these few years, that the young swimmers don't stop and continue. And even if they will not be professionals, or they will not be at the Olympics, or they will not break any records, that they continue swimming and they go to the master categories, or they just do it for the health or for fun until late ages.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because I agree with that. A lot of swimmers, the joy is taken out of it when they're 13 to 15, and they're sat there and their training is so intense that then after that they completely burn out by the age of 17. So I think I agree, to keep the fun and keep the enjoyment in swimming is a really important thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
continue.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So if you could tell your younger self something, what would it be?
I don't think I would change anything what I did. The only one thing is maybe I would start swimming earlier. So I started when I was 30. Yeah,
Oh wow.
so it was maybe much better to start earlier. But that's it. I would not change anything else. Only that I start swimming earlier. Yeah, because I love it so
Wow.
much, and I just found it out when I was 30. But when I find it out earlier, it would be maybe much better.
Yeah. So that's really interesting that you only started at 30. So did you play any sports aside from swimming before that, or even now, or are you just swimming now?
Yeah, before I was doing a lot of different sports, but not so intensively like swimming now. So I was playing football, I was doing skateboarding, and I was doing judo and everything, but everything only a little bit. And then I stopped completely. I was doing nothing for 10 years. And with 30, I started swimming, and I'm doing it quite intensively now. And you asked if I'm doing any other sports. The only other sport is what I do is riding a bike. I'm cycling every day to work and back. So I'm trying to do it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's raining, of course not, or snowing, then I skip a day. But normally every day you're riding like 13, 14 kilometers there, and the same also back. So from work there
Okay.
and back. But
Wow.
that's it, nothing else.
Yeah. So do you have a coach that like gives you your sets, or do you do it all yourself?
Yeah, I have a coach, and he's writing me all the sets. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's also
So he
more fun. I think I could write it for myself, because I'm writing sets for other swimmers, but I like to get my sets written by my coach, because he knows me well, and he sees the progress and everything, and he can bring me to that point where I want to go. Yeah, so I
yeah,
like to have them written.
especially in a training pool, it makes it much nicer to have a coach on poolside motivating and not just alone, because it's quite hard to be
Yes.
there.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
would you ever become a coach yourself? Would you ever go into just coaching?
Oh yeah, I'm working on it. So I did a course already to become a swimming coach. So I have the instructor level now. And yes, I'm in my free time, I'm trying to help other people to get to a better swimming level. Yes.
Okay, wow. So is that just open water, or is it also pool swimming?
Mostly pool swimming, but I'm preparing swimmers now, which want to win some triathlons, open water races, or they want to swim a channel or something like this. So mostly open water swimmers. Yeah.
Okay, wow. Is that based in Austria, or is that everyone anywhere?
Yeah, everyone everywhere. I'm doing it online mostly, so everybody can reach out to me, and I can try to help him.
Okay, wow, that's really good. So would you ever do a triathlon yourself? Or
I was thinking about to do one, yeah, yeah, but let's see what the future will bring. I don't really like running, so that's
okay,
my issue. The swimming is not a problem. The bike is fine, but I don't really like running. But you can never know.
Yeah. Who knows where we'll be in 10 years? Could be
Yes,
triathlons.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So sort of wrapping up a bit, do you have a quote of the day? Do you have a mantra that you live by?
There is maybe maybe the most important, which is going through my head every day, is the quote that consistency is key. I think that's
Okay.
the most important thing. That every day when I wake up, I just do my swim training and then I go to work, or on other days I just go to work and then I go to swim. So you need to stay consistent. You need to train every day, or in every possibility you can do, you have to train, and then you will reach your goals.
Okay, yeah, consistency. It's very good.
Yeah.
So, for someone like me, I'm swimming the English Channel in June. What would be one of the biggest tips you would give me?
To swim the English Channel, I think the most important will be, the combination of the endurance. So you are trained very well. You have your kilometers in the shoulders, and and you have to be prepared in your mind also, to don't give up. Also, if you are swimming against the current or something, just go through it. And you have to have also a good cold water tolerance. So I think these three parts are important. And of course, you need to have a good crew around you. So
Yeah.
people on the boat are very important. They are motivating you and they are helping you to go through situations which will be not easy. But I'm sure you will do it. So I don't think you will have any problems there.
Thank you so much. So, who's on your boat normally when you're doing your open water swims? Who are the people on your boat?
Yeah, normally if we are doing something with my team, then it's the manager of the team is always on the boat, and the other swimmers from the team. Or sometimes if I'm doing something shorter, then my wife is on the team, and she's feeding me and motivating me to go through. Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, thank you so much, Peter. It's been great to speak to you. Really enjoyed it, and I hope people have got some tips and are more motivated to go into open water swimming. So, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I hope it helps to motivate, millions of people to swim. Yeah.
So, for any more Lane 4 podcasts, please go to @Lane4 Podcast.